In the bustling urban landscape, the story unfolds of Tatsu, a former Yakuza boss renowned as the Immortal Dragon. Once the terror of rival gangs, Tatsu now lives a life steeped in domestic tranquility. His formidable past seems at odds with his current role, where he dedicates his days to housework and caring for his wife, Miku. A new morning routine. The day begins with Tatsu showcasing his exceptional culinary skills. His heavily tattooed arms move deftly as he prepares breakfast and a charming bento lunch, meticulously photographing his creations. His quiet domestic moment is disrupted when Miku rushes out, late for a meeting, leaving without eating the meal he prepared. Realizing she left her lunch behind, Tatsu, in true Yakuza style, grabs the lunchbox and bolts out the door, hopping on his bicycle to deliver it to her office. As he speeds through the streets, he's stopped by two policemen who recognize him from his infamous past. They're stunned when he hands them a discount coupon, then resumes his mission, leaving them speechless. The knife salesman. Back at his apartment, Tatsu opens the door to a door-to-door knife salesman who forcefully enters, only to freeze at the sight of Tatsu's intimidating figure, apron stained with red. The salesman nervously continues his pitch, showing off his company's knives. Tatsu evaluates them rigorously, testing them out in his kitchen to prepare a hamburger steak. The steak turns out perfect, but the salesman, terrified by Tatsu's intense demeanor, makes a hasty exit. An old apprentice returns. Later, Tatsu encounters Masa, an old apprentice from his Yakuza days, being kicked out of a store. Masa, disillusioned and seeking direction, follows Tatsu into a grocery store, pleading for him to return to lead their gang. Ignoring him, Tatsu focuses on recycling, and then drags Masa to a cooking class meant for housewives. Despite the adoration of the other women, Masa is frustrated and demands answers. Tatsu explains his choice to leave violence behind and become a house husband, stressing that true protection comes from peace, not force. However, in a fit of rage, Masa knocks over a plate of croquettes. Tatsu momentarily forgets his pacifist stance, roughing up Masa. Later, Masa cleans up, gaining a new respect for Tatsu's commitment to his domestic life. Yakuza-style shopping. Meanwhile, Tatsu's past continually catches up with him. Some members of a rival gang spot him and decide to follow him. Tatsu, seemingly oblivious, leads them into a shopping mall where a 90% discount sale is happening. Misinterpreting his actions, they assist him in grabbing discounted items, only to be chastised for their poor choices. The birthday present. At home, Tatsu prepares for Miku's birthday. He buys her a cake and an expensive action figure from her favorite anime. She's thrilled until she realizes it's one she already owns. Tatsu offers to pay the penalty, but Miku throws him out the window instead. Babysitting adventures. Another day, Tatsu's neighbor leaves her young son in his care. The boy is initially frightened by Tatsu's appearance but warms up after tasting his cookies. Tatsu suggests playing traditional Japanese games, but the boy accidentally breaks Miku's cherished action figure. Panicking, Tatsu considers burying it Yakuza-style to hide the evidence, but when Miku arrives, he immediately drops to his knees, confessing the mishap. Old rivalries resurface. Masa runs into 4 gang members but Tatsu, uninterested in violence, heads to a house husband class instead. Masa provokes Tatsu, hoping for a fight, but Tatsu refuses, leaving Masa to fend for himself. Domestic showdown. Next, Tatsu and Miku go shopping. His intimidating presence causes a misunderstanding, and Miku suggests a makeover to make him look less frightening. Despite trying different outfits, it's clear that his face, not his clothes, is the problem. Eventually, Tatsu buys a pink apron featuring Miku's favorite anime character, delighting her. Old friends and new competitions. Toru, a former rival now homeless, challenges Tatsu to a culinary duel. Tatsu's almond jelly garners more likes on Instagram than Toru's crepe, winning the contest. Car shopping fiasco. Tatsu and Miku consider buying a car, but Tatsu's paranoid imagination runs wild, envisioning potential threats everywhere. They decide against purchasing a car, much to Miku's frustration. Flea market. Confronting some extortionists, they recognize him and tremble in fear. Tatsu sells them kitchen gadgets, demonstrating their use in a way that terrifies them even more. A surprise birthday. Tatsu and Masa are followed by police, who suspect a shady deal. They burst into a cafe only to find it's a birthday party for Tatsu's landlady. The suspicious package Tatsu handed Masa turns out to be basil, and his suitcase contains a potpourri gift. Confrontation with an old foe. The boss from the flea market, determined to confront Tatsu, undergoes rigorous training to steady his legs. However, when he finally meets Tatsu again, his legs still buckle in fear, and he retreats, defeated.